Empress Vibrant here. Hope everybody is blessed. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And for your personal readers, all the information is in the description box below. Hit me up. I'd love to connect with you. So we are going to do the earth signs. So earth signs, how you doing? Happy May. Springtime energy. And I hope you guys have utilized the new moon in Taurus energy. So yes, for your intentions, review what's worked, what hasn't, what I'm going to use, what I need to do moving forward, what characteristics do I need to be put into the forefront to have what it is that I need. Yeah, you know, some luxury as well. With Taurus likes to live good, and also Taurus is also ruled by Venus, so love and relationships. So I'm sure a lot of that will be highlighted within within this new cycle. So let's see what's going on for you, Earth signs. We're going to get an overall energy. Have a look at what that is, and then we'll look at the recent past, the present, and the future energy for the rest of the month. So let's have a look, see what's the overall vibe. Thank you. Straight away we've got surrender. Okay, so this is like the heart chakra energy, this green. So surrender. So that's the energy. Let's work it out. And even, yeah, I think overall with you earth signs, I think you're surrendering to the process. You guys can be complete control freaks. You love to have the control over situations. You like to dot the I's and cross the T's. You make sure that the detail is dead there. You know, so I feel as though you are utilizing the energy of your heart space and your faith in the situation to surrender over to source divine and sort of say, okay, I'm going to trust you with this situation, because you know, in this physical realm I'm doing a lot and it's tiring me out. I'm feeling exhausted. I need to sleep all the time. Even my interactions with people sometimes is quite draining, and that's because you're doing a lot of extra work to counterbalance everything else, or try to hold the position, or to steer the narrative, or to steer it in the outcome that you want, instead of just allowing things to flow. Obviously you put the preparation in, as I know you're just going to throw caution to the wind and don't do nothing, because but you are a little bit more open to that. So let's see what it says here. The energy of surrender supports us to let go of illusionary control and yield to the flow of love and life. So I say it again. The energy of surrender supports us to let go of illusionary control and yield the flow of love and life. Okay, so that illusionary control, you know, and I understand it, you know, we just need to feel like we're doing everything that we possibly can, you know, to ensure the outcome that we actually want. Oh, I was thinking something felt missing. I didn't put back on my my background tones. Here we go, that's better. So earth signs, let's have a look at what's gone on in the recent past for you. Oh, this happened in the other reading. I'm going to clarify that with the tarot. I almost feel like I would have got a jolt, like, oh, where are you going? Like, pull me back. Like, where are you going? Where are you going? You know, you haven't broken down what that's really about. So I just want to get a clarification on this surrender. Why surrender here for the earth signs? And that is a Virgo, Taurus, and how can I remember things? And Capricorn. It's far too many. Can we make it plain, please? Why surrender here for earth signs? Yeah. So you surrender to the judgment, to the energy of everyone else, you know, the perception. I think you are surrendering. It's illusionary control. I think the most you can really do, and what, you know, the energy is around the fact that you want to be a good person. You want to be constantly growing, you know, and take the actions to be the bigger person in situations. Come from your heart space instead of your mind, and really trust in your ability to love, you know, deeply, and to just live, you know. And I think this judgment energy is talking to us about the nudges that we have to do the right thing, say the right thing, support our friends and our family in a, you know, intimate and loving way, you know. You know, sometimes that can be difficult because that means you're going to have harsh truths, speak things that maybe people don't want to hear, and sometimes that can be really difficult, and you can start, you know, you can start to feel like the villain in a situation, and then you judge yourself from how people are perceiving you, and, you know, the words that you used, and yada yada yada, where you just got a free flow. And this doesn't mean that you are not cautious of the things that you're saying, or that you're not being mindful. However, it's about, you are a good person at the core, and you know, while you're saying these things or highlighting these situations, it's so that everyone around you can have a full and real experience without the extra stuff, you know. Like it says, the illusionary control and yield the flow of love and life, you know. And you want that for everyone as much as you want that for yourself. So I think that's why that's there. So it's about others, how they're perceiving you as well, and how you're perceiving yourself as a good person, you know. And at the bottom of the deck we've got 10 of Swords. So yeah, walking away from some real harsh energy, you know, a lot of in the head energy. We've got air signs, so a lot of thinking, a lot of contemplation, a lot of putting things together, you know, work, communication, projects, you know, family, definitely communication and things like that. But, you know, we've got the 10, so we are at the end of that kind of energy, which is great to see. So I see that we're working through some stuff, so we're surrendering to the illusionary control and just letting the flow of love and life just be, so that we can be here in the present, you know, do the works that we want to do, show up in the way that we feel that we should show up, and that is right and just, you know. And I think we just want that as well. We want to feel that things are moving right and people are being just and loving to us as well, you know. And I think that's the energy that's coming up quite thick for you, earth signs. Okay, so let's see what's going on in the recent past for the earth signs. Recent past. What's going on in the recent past for the earth signs? Okay. Adjacent possibilities. Recent past. Recent past for the earth signs. So we have adjacent possibilities. Yeah. So we are talking about everything that is not necessarily what we had anticipated, or going down a route that wasn't initially the route. So the illusionary control of, okay, if I go down this route and I take that amount of courses, or I do this, or I, you know, follow this particular system, that I should get this, and, you know, if I do that, then I'll get, you know what I mean. It's like the adjacent possibilities are the things that are opposite, or next to, or in a different way. So it's about being open to the new ways of doing things, and being open to the changes that are around. And I think the illusionary control is that if you flog, you know, if you beat the dead horse, you know, if you continue doing things in this particular way at that particular time, that, you know, then I should have this, and, you know, the outcome should be that. So when the outcome isn't as you had anticipated or expected, then I feel like you do this judging situation, and what are people going to think, and, you know, have I said the right things, and am I doing the right things for the right reasons, and, you know, are the things that I'm saying just and fair, and, you know. But the adjacent possibilities is showing you that there are definitely other avenues to deal with life and the scenarios that come up. You know, at the bottom of the deck we've got blossom in abundance. So yeah, taking other opportunities and other routes, and utilizing other parts of yourself earth signs is what's going to be bringing in this blossoming abundance. So I'm loving to see this. So let's clarify these adjacent possibilities. It's definitely, like I said, around, you know, letting go of that control, just going with the flow, and letting love guide you, and the love and vim and zest for life be the reason for things. Okay, so Six of Pentacles. So I think the adjacent possibilities are going to yield you, afford you to be able to support. You know, this is charitable giving. This is helping friends and family. This is investing in people, places and things. This is where you are able to really look at what it is that you want to do, how you feel your presence, your knowledge, your stability, your know-how, you know, your stability, the fact that you're grounding, how this actually supports those around you. So I feel like the energy that you're giving, you know, physical, whether it be you are giving cash or you are supporting people by buying groceries, or you know, you support the elderly in your family or people in your community, you know, it's all that kind of energy as well. So the adjacent possibilities are the other ways in which you can serve, the other ways in which you can create a sense of stability and balance for those around you and yourself, and not just assume that, you know, there is a one size fits all or one route to getting there. There are other ways in which you can support those around you. Let's see if there's anything else around the adjacent possibilities. Yeah, and I think it's about you being clear and open to doing things in a different kind of way and not being so rigid. Yeah, I see that. So the King of Swords, you know, being clear, you know, and I think the adjacent possibilities, you know, in the fact that there are other ways for you to support and to be supported, will yield you, or will afford you the confidence to chop away of all the other stuff that doesn't work anymore. So in that true new moon fashion, that hasn't worked, you know, or it worked to a certain degree, but I didn't maximize everything that I could get out of that situation. I didn't utilize everything in my arsenal at that particular point. So I'm going to chop away all of the extra fluff and pompous and puff and get rid of that and strip things down to the bones, so that we can deal with the basis of things, you know. And I think that's where it's at. And I think with the King of Swords being very, very direct and sharp, and ensuring that they're precise and it's precision. There's a lot of mental clarity going on. So I think you've given yourself the recent, I feel like it's like you're working through the mental anguish and the things that's been going on in the background in the mind, you know, what you should be given, you know, who deserves what, and, you know, balancing your time and your skills, you know, and realizing that there are definitely other ways to support and to be supported. So I'm loving the fact that in the recent past you are working through not holding on to one vision of how things can go. Let's see with this blossoming in abundance. So I'm glad that that's the case, because it means that you've been able to see the abundance through the movement, through doing things different, through allowing yourself to be helped, you know, and to speak things that you possibly may not necessarily wanted to speak, or to yeah, I'm hearing for some of you as well, it's definitely connected to what you feel like you deserve. So it's almost like, if I say or do this, I may lose out here. And I think that's where the control and the stronghold is. Whereas they're saying there are so many ways to skin a cat, there are so many ways to appeal to people, or to get what it is that you want without having to compromise on your giving abilities, sharing, you know, investing in yourself and others, you know, and being clear about how you want to do that. And I think your blossom in abundance comes from the fact that you have been clear, cut out the fluff and the pompous stuff and the stuff that's not necessary, so that you can get more specific. You know, you've got the Queen of Cups. So we know that it's about your grounding and it's about your self-care and it's, you know, your abundance and you feeling good is wrapped up in you nurturing yourself, you know, and the fact that there is an energy around supporting others as well, with this kind of energy of I nurture, I give, you know, I support, but knowing that there's many different ways of doing it, and all of these different ways can definitely yield blossom and abundance in different ways. It doesn't have to be the same type of thing. It doesn't have to be rough love. It doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, throwing caution to the wind and not considering anybody or considering yourself. But there are different ways in which you can nurture the situation, nurture yourself and those around you in a different way. And I think it makes you feel a bit uncomfortable. But I think you will see that there are changes, that you don't have to be rigid. There are other ways of doing things. And I think that's the illusionary control, that if I stay this way, and if I do things this way, then, you know, there isn't any scope. There isn't any scope there to move. So let's looking in on the next card. So yeah, looking at the next one, we've got the Eight of Swords. So again, this energy is around the self-limited beliefs. You know, this person feels like they're bound. This is all mental. You feel as though you're stuck, moving, acting, showing up in the same type of way. And I feel like within this recent past, you've kind of realised, actually, I have so much more to offer. I can be more dynamic. Actually, rather me being nervous about losing people or relationships breaking down due to you doing things differently, you feel, you know, you can actually start seeing that actually I can nurture and love in different ways, and I can be nurtured and loved, and I can receive that also. And I'm not bound to stay in this one way of doing things. There are adjacent possibilities, and I'm going to be clear and direct about how I can do things, and you're going to play around, and I think this is great. So I'm glad that that's what's going on. You're moving through some new, just looking into a new way of doing things, and I know that can be extremely uncomfortable for those who have kind of got into a system, and it's like, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But sometimes we may not be utilizing, you know, things to our fullest of our abilities. You know, we've let fear and anxiety or our lack of self-worth kind of contradict, or not necessarily contradict, but have undermined what it is that you can truly achieve. So let's see what's going on with you now. What's the current energy for the earth signs? What's the current energy for earth signs? What's the current energy for earth signs? Okay. Temple path. You are looking out for yourself. You are taking time for spiritual enrichment. You are grounding yourself. You are connecting to source, your ancestors. You are appealing for support. I feel like you're not necessarily leaning on your own understanding at this time as well, which is great to see. Let's see what else there is. And then daughter value. So yeah, you're looking about your coin and you're starting to say, right, so, you know, I looked at what I can give, you know, and the fact that I can give and do things in a different way, you know, and get really structured about it and cut away all the stuff that's not necessary. You know, there's blossom and abundance coming in with that nurture, with that being open to being loved and supported in a different way, and you doing likewise. And, you know, quieting them voices in the mind telling you that it's been done this way, and, you know, this is how it's, you know, this is how it's done, where there's actually other ways of doing it. So I think this temple path is really giving you the space to love on yourself in a different kind of way. And I think you've allowed Source Divine to work on your behalf a little more. So I feel as though this energy around surrender, I feel like you're surrendering now. I think it was a bit hard because you was like, what is this? And I feel uncomfortable working like that. But I feel as though the surrendering to the path, you know, of least resistance, following the path of your true purpose, which is to share, to love, to experience, to give, you know, to serve and to be served, you know, and that opens up the door to value, and then people free up the change they want to subscribe, they want to become a member of, they want to be involved in, they want to feel included, and this means that they will participate in your practices, your services, and buy your products, you know, and support your cause. And I'm glad to see this, and I'm glad that at the forefront of it is the fact that you are looking about your healing and your no, this just fell out, this doesn't feel right. No, let's get clear. Yeah, so almost this energy around not leaning on your own inner standing, but rather looking at things in a different way. So let's look at what this temple path is talking about. So we've got 8 of Cups. So walking away from all that doesn't serve. So I think you've looked at, okay, I used to do things in this way and it served me really well for a while, and you are able to accept that, you know, it worked for some time, you know, but I've changed, I've evolved, I've moved on. It's not giving me the same feeling, it's not hitting the same, it's not hitting right, I'm not being stretched, you know. And with this Cups, I'm talking about emotions, it's the way you feel about things, the way you feel about yourself, the way you feel about, you know, the people that you have around you, your family, your partner, you know, your children, you know, the wider community, you know. And it's about walking away from the things that don't no longer serve, and that becomes so much more easier when you have a focus that is a spiritual, you know, it's bigger than yourself and bigger than your situation in this realm. You are taking out of this space and sort of having a bird's eye view, which is great. And then you see the King of Pentacles. So yeah, you know, there is much reward in the fruits of your labor, you putting in this effort to ground yourself, to trust in the source, you know, take the opportunities to walk away, learn, reflect from situations, and you see the fruits of your labor coming in, you know, that luxury of relaxation, that luxury of peace and acceptance, you know. And this is monetary as well, so that comfortability, look at how he's sitting cool and relaxed, you know. I've put in work, I've done the stuff that I need to do so that I can yield all of the wonderful fruits of my labor and all the work that I've done, you know, to stay grounded, to look out for my family, to ensure that my finances and my household, you know, my career, my, you know, and my workspace and the things that I do in my projects are all in alignment, you know, with the truest nature, which is from that temple path, which is that spiritual divine support. And I love to see that. King of Pentacles, and that moves into that door to value. So again, that journey alone is worth investing in and worth speaking about, you know. And I think earth signs as well, I think sometimes you are so, well, for some of you, I can feel that there is a nerves around being too vulnerable or showing people too much of yourself, or kind of wanting to put a cap on how much you show, when your full experience, who you are, is the full package and worth people, you know, investing in, you know, and subscribing to and being a membership of, you know, because of your journey and you're vulnerable, the fact that you can be vulnerable, and the fact that you can be honest, and the fact that you can be open and share your knowledge and your wisdom. I think it's lovely. And then we've got the Ten of Pentacles. You see what I'm saying? Things are just lucrative all around for you earth signs. And that is off the back of just getting very, very, very specific. You know, getting out of your own way, not seeing things in just one stretch. It doesn't have to all be done on this particular website, and the website has to be like this, and if I do it like this, and you know, maybe you do things that, you know, a little bit less rigid, or less in a less masculine way, and it's more in a chilled and relaxed and poised way. And then you just see things coming up where your family life and work and finances and your career is good, and you feel contented, you know, because at the forefront you've dealt with yourself, and that you've given at the Most High full full space to work within you, you know, the sacrifices that you need to make, ensuring that you're making the right type of sacrifices. So I'm going to let go of the hang-ups, the worries, the fears, the angst, and let go of some of my habits that are less than desirable, or not necessarily in support of who I am becoming. And then also ensuring that you're not sacrificing too much for the wrong things, or not doing so much for the monetization of situations or for things, but making sure that you're staying true to yourself as well. I actually love that. So let's see what's going on in the future. What's going on in the distant future, the rest of May. Journey, I love that. What's going on? I love it. So we have journey. So you're going to be continuing on your journey. You know, you're going to continue to grow, continue to meet the right types of people, to rub shoulders with the higher echelons, because you're really moving pretty fast through situations. I have to say, I feel a huge amount of excitement, a little bit of dread, because I think you're quite surprised how much you've blown up, or how much people are, you know, saying how much they enjoy your content, and how much they enjoy, you know, your podcast, the things you say, you know, your knowledge, the way you put things down, and just people watching your journey in itself. And I think sometimes it's sort of like, oh really, for real, you know. And yeah, for real, you've done great, and you're continuing to grow and to develop, and I'm glad to see it. I'm absolutely glad to see it. It's beautiful. And then we have appreciation, and we know that the attitude of gratitude is where it's at. So you have an appreciation from where you've come. You have appreciation for those who are around you, who are supporting you, and you have an appreciation for the divine support, you know, and you're ever grateful and ever gratitude, you know, full of gratitude. And I'm loving to see that. So tell me about this journey, please. Tell me more about this journey. The sun. So this journey is bright. This journey is a bright one, where you feel happy, contented, loved. You know, things are illuminated to you, and you're just taking opportunities as they come, and they're coming from all directions. You know, you feel great in your home life. You know, your relationships are doing great. You know, you feel stable. You know, you're living your best life, and I'm here for it. I'm actually here for it. Okay, I see. Ace of Wands. Yeah, so you're taking action. You're living your best life. Yeah, you got the sun. And the Ace of Wands. Yeah, you're living your best life, and you're taking all opportunities to live and to experience and to grow. I'm loving that. And this is where that great appreciation for your journey and putting in the extra effort, and that sometimes the uncomfortable has actually helped so much so for you to be at this space of complete appreciation. I love it. Tell me more about appreciation, please. Seven of Wands. Yeah, you appreciate even those who came up against you, because this journey hasn't been totally smooth. You know, you appreciate the fact that, you know, I had to form my bubble. You know, I had to put myself in a space of peace. I had to be accepting of the fact that not everybody's going to be interested in what I'm offering. Not everybody's going to be kind and loving, but you surrender to the fact that you need to love on yourself, and that you living your best life means that you must always find peace and get back to peace, even with 7 wands against you, even when you have to defend yourself, or even when you have to sort of get out of the way of the naysayers, you know. I love that. Yeah. Appreciation for working through the heartbreak, the anguish, the betrayal, and all of the things that have happened in the past. You are moving to a stage where you feel great and you see yourself in a whole new way, and I'm thankful that this is here. So there's an appreciation for the fact that you had to stand up for yourself, put yourself first, you know, find that freedom, find that sense of peace in the situation throughout all of the stuff that was hurtful, you know, but you recognize and appreciate the journey, and actually appreciate your strength and the fact that you have been blessed beyond measure. I love that. So lastly, let's see what is being activated throughout the month of May, and in relation to this reading, where we are surrendering the illusionary control and allowing the flow of love and life. I love that. Yes, earth signs. Yes, yes, I see you, and I love it. What is being activated within the earth signs regarding this reading through the month of May? Okay, we have a vision. So it has, no matter what, you see the bigger picture of a loving and just universe. Exactly. You know, you want things to run smooth. You know, you want people to live their best life the same way you intend to live your best life. So you understand that it's definitely around, you know, that universal loving energy. You know, I love that. That's what your vision is, and that's what you're holding. Then we have transformation. You see the power of love to move through illusions and shift into awareness. This is the second time we've seen illusion. So in this one it says the energy of surrender supports us to let go of illusionary control and yield to the flow of love and life. And this one is talking about transformation. You use the power of love to move through illusions and shift into awareness. See, the illusions that things have to be done in a certain way, and that you have to show up this way, and it has to be done like this, and it's and it's, you know, that rigid thing. But the transformation is the illusion that, you know, there's not any one way of doing things. The adjacent possibilities is actually where it's at. Do you get what I mean? And that's the energy. I love that. And then we've got humility. You have developed the loving awareness that you and everyone else are the same, but on different paths. And I think that helps. And I think that will continue to help you, because, you know, the frustration of things having to go a certain way is that illusion that things need to be done in a way that you do them, or people need to do things like you, or in this way or that way, when, you know, we're all on the same journey to love and fulfillment, and to, you know, feel great and to develop, you know, but we're all on different paths and how we get there. So I think that really helps, you know. Oh, my lovely earth signs, that has been your reading. Please like, share, subscribe and comment, and I look forward to connecting with you. All the information for your personal readings are in the description box below. Take care, my lovelies. Blessings.